Jason Rzucidlo reporting inside the Laurel Manor in Livonia for the Michigan Film Industry Town Hall meeting. Governor Snyder has decided to put a cap on the film incentives for $25 million, and that would necessarily eliminate most filming in the state. Find out what people have to say right here from the Laurel Manor. So we're here today at the Film Town Hall meeting. So first of all, tell me your position on the tax incentive.
I think it stinks.
Yeah, if they cap the incentive at $25 million, honestly, that's the budget of one large film, and it really doesn't make sense to have any kind of incentive here. It's done so much for our city, and it would be a shame to take it away.
Now, how has your business, been helped out by the film incentive?
Well, we get a lot of staff and crew come in, and we do some private parties and things like that. That would all go away if the incentive is what it's going to be.
What about for you?
I spent the last 2 years honing in on this business, recreating my life as the economy in Detroit fell away from us. I'm a business owner of 9 years, and I lost my shop, and so recreating myself now. If this goes away, I'm going to have to move, just finding my way again and getting in the union and paying my dues. And if this goes away, it'd be ridiculous. So many people are going to be affected negatively,
Yep. So now let's talk about some of the films that you had, worked with, helped out.
Mine, I don't know the names of the films. I just know the people who contacted me for their crews. Some of them were TV shows, some of them were films. We didn't really get too involved with what the films were, but they said that it was like a rap parties. We did some catering for some things, but I didn't really get too involved with knowing what the names of the films were. But I know the contacts I dealt with, and there was a few of them. So.
What was the question?
What were some of the films that you worked with?
Oh, I work with Lifetime and with Sony. The last film I did was Hostel Part 3. And I've also worked on several music videos after that. But Michigan and this cold environment is kind of a lull for films, and then now is the time that people would be crewing up, and we've scared away 11 major motion pictures just by the mere idea of the incentive going away. So it's really already impacted us in a negative way. I've already lost work, so that's scary.
Any other remarks here today?
Well, I think it's obvious. We used to get probably once a week location scout come to my restaurant looking for locations to film. And since the announcement, I have seen zero. So it's just a really obvious change of the mentality of the industry in the area. And, I always thought it was a good thing for business. Yeah, maybe they get a tax incentive, but what they provide is, people need a place to eat. People like me who are in business, in this bad economy, we need customers. So movie people need to eat. They need some place to sleep. They generate more dollars through other avenues than the taxes that they benefit from. So that's at least, for me, from my perspective, I see an increase in business from the movie incentive that I think is going to go away, and I'm going to have to find a new way to stay in business myself.
Yeah, there's a definite ripple effect, and just the general demeanor of everybody around me. I mean, for years we've been in a recession, and when this excitement of the film industry came here and we all geared up and learned our craft and got excited, and there's just this whole warm, happy feeling about the city, and now it's already at a standstill. People are scared, we're feeling sick to our stomachs, worried about if we're going to work or not. And do we really need this many thousands of people unemployed all at the same time? And definitely my friend's pub and shops and everything like that are definitely affected in the most positive way. So
Well, the Detroit Metro CVB has many hotels and other businesses that have benefited directly from the film industry over the last several years. And we know how important it's been for them to use this film business to fill the gap from meetings industry business and corporate business travelers who have gone away. So we hear from our hotels that this has been a lifesaver for them over the last several years and has really become a regular part of their business mix in their hotels. So we know it's important economically, but we wanted to have proof, and so we commissioned Ernst & Young in Washington, D.C. to do a report for us. We got our fellow CVBs in Traverse City, Ann Arbor, and Grand Rapids to join us, and just got the results back 2 weeks ago. And it shows once and for all, from a third-party perspective, that these incentives are working. We really are creating new jobs, average salary of $53,000 a year, almost 4,000 jobs last year alone. We have a $6 return on every dollar invested for the state of Michigan's economy. And if you look at over $500 million of economic activity for an investment, net investment of about $86 million, we think that's a pretty positive return and is exactly what this kind of program is intended to do, but often doesn't.
We're here at the Laurel Manor for the town hall meeting. So what is the goal of this meeting? What do you hope to get out of it?
Well, I was invited to attend because since we commissioned the Ernst & Young study, it really is the ammunition everybody in the industry needs to show once and for all that all the comments about this thing being a bad investment just aren't true. We didn't know what Ernst & Young's number was going to be until we got the report back, and we were delighted to see that they met our expectations in terms of the fact that we knew that this was a positive economic impact. But nobody had ever had a number before. Nobody had ever gone to the Treasury and gotten all the state's own numbers, given them to an international accounting firm and said, tell us what this all means. So it's good news for people who support the incentive, and for people who care about diversifying the state of Michigan. This industry was invited to the state of Michigan. They've spent money here. They've created a new industry. To tell them to get out of town, we just think is a bad message.
Yeah. Is it true that some of them have already packed up and left, or are they mainly still here?
Yeah, quite a few productions that were looking at Michigan have decided to go elsewhere, and several films that were definitely planning on coming here have pulled the plug. A lot of them don't want to talk about it because they figure, well, you know, I don't want to get involved in local politics. But the fact of the matter is, there are over a dozen productions we know of that were coming to Michigan who aren't coming now, including one film of over $100 million alone. So this is money out of people's pockets. This is Michigan jobs out the window.
You think this could be something like the Pure Michigan? First it was canned and then it came back. Do you think that could happen with this? Maybe it could stay in the books?
Well, we know that Governor Snyder has said that he's a numbers guy, and when he saw the numbers on the Travel Michigan campaign, he said that proved to him that that was a worthwhile investment. Well, we think the numbers on the Michigan Film Incentive are the same kinds of numbers, showing a really obvious return and definite progress in just 2.5 years. So we're hopeful if the governor takes another look at it, he'll realize that if numbers work for him in other scenarios, they're going to have to work with him here.
All right. Any other remarks here today?
It's important to know that this film industry is benefiting Michiganders. A lot of the opponents rather disingenuously say it's all about giving money to fat cat Hollywood people. Yeah. Hollywood's a business, entertainment's a business, and the fact of the matter is they have an incentive to hire Michigan people, train Michigan people, and use Michigan businesses. And to the tune of $500 million they've been doing that, and we think that has to continue.